Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me again today. I am here to talk to you about none other than Godzilla versus Kong. And there were a few elements of this movie that surprised me that we're going to get into in a little bit. But first off, I'll give you the Rotten Tomatoes score. So it's got 76% positive reviews by Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, and then 96% by the audience. I give it 7.5 out of 10, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But first off, I want to say, I'll preface this with saying that I am a huge Godzilla fan. Me and my siblings grew up watching a lot of Godzilla movies on VHS, and a lot of you might not know, but there is actually another Godzilla versus Kong film. And this was, I believe it was back in the 60s that it was made. I used to watch that on VHS. I've seen it like maybe a dozen times. So big Godzilla fan here. I don't even know if I've seen all of the Godzilla films. There's been so many. But definitely easy to say that I am well versed in the topic of Godzilla. He's absolutely one of my favorite fictional characters in all of media. So now that we've got that out the way, for those of you who don't know anything, this film is a sequel. It is in the same universe as 2014's Godzilla, and then 2017's Kong Skull Island, and then 2019 was Godzilla King of the Monsters. And so this would be the fourth film in this franchise of sorts. You know, it's if you don't know anything about Godzilla, it's kind of easy to get confused, just because you know, Japan, there's a lot of films that are made in Japan. There's a lot of reboots and sequels, and a lot of times it's really hard to keep up with okay, which film, you know, is building on what happened in the past, or, you know, which one is completely different. And then to further complicate this, even films that don't necessarily follow other Godzilla films, they'll use popular elements and things from those films in the new ones. So as an example, with this latest reboot, in 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters, you know, it used Ghidorah and Rodan, Mothra, very popular Godzilla characters, you know, showed in many other Godzilla movies of past, and even some of these characters have had their own films. Even though, like I said, this is not a sequel to any of those films. So, don't know anything. This is the fourth film in the most recent American rebooted franchise, which was started in 2014. Now, the reason I give it a 7.5 out of 10, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was really entertaining. I went and saw it in IMAX. This is, you know, it is streaming on HBO Max at the same time it's currently in theaters. But for something this colossal on this scale, you know, you've got a giant lizard fighting a giant ape. I want to see this on the big screen. You know, I want to experience the large scale destruction. So I went and saw it in IMAX. Really entertaining, really great fight scenes, pretty much everything you're expecting with that type of premise. The reason I couldn't rate it higher was the human parts. Like, so I'm not even mentioning, you know, I haven't even mentioned who some of the actors are. You got Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, but they are very much a sideshow to the main attraction, which is fine. Like I said, if you come into this film saying, hey, I want to watch a giant lizard fight a giant ape, and I want to see buildings destroyed, I want to see colossal destruction, that is what you're going to get. And because of that, that's why, like I said, it's really entertaining. But it's really, even though that's the film's premise and it absolutely delivers on that premise, it's hard for me to give it a higher rating once the parts, you know, the plot of the film And so much of when you see the humans interacting, it does get a bit nonsensical at times. You know, some of the things that they do don't make sense, which, you know, I understand that in a lot of movies you have to press the I believe button and then suspend, you know, your real world knowledge of physics and logic and understand it's a movie. But I can remember one big scene towards the end, not giving away spoilers, where one of our protagonists is surprised that some people in the film are doing exactly what they came there to do. You know, the mission was. Not giving too much away, but, you know, they want Kong to lead them to this, you know, energy source that, you know, would help them to do battles with these giant titans, you know, like King Kong and Godzilla and Ghidorah, a lot of these that you would have seen in Godzilla's King of the Monsters. Once they get there, you know, not giving too much away, but one of our protagonists is surprised that they're actually doing what the purpose of the whole mission was. So it was things like that. And you know, there's another side story about a conspiracy theorist and, you know, how he hooks up, you know, with these two kids and they've got their own side mission. It's a bit ridiculous. And, you know, I understand, like I say, that wasn't their focal point. But just because of that, like I say, it's hard for me to give it higher than a 7.5, because even though it's great in its lane, you know, it has its lane. You know, I'm not going to be comparing this type of film with the likes of, you know, Inception, you know, when I'm talking about, you know, great films that make you think and all that. But like I say, it's fine. That's, you know, that's not what this film was there to do. And I understand that. And for what it came to do, I think it was very entertaining. If you're a Godzilla fan, if you're a King Kong fan, you know, King Kong, he has his own fan base. He's been in his own movies. He's been very much a part of American media, you know, as a known figure for quite some time. So if you like either of those two characters, or you just like big, epic destruction battles, and you know, you're looking for something to kind of kick off that, hey, it's almost summer, and, you know, I'm getting ready to get into that summer blockbuster mode, this film will definitely do it for you. I'd say that. As long as you know what you're coming in, what you're expecting, hey, Godzilla versus Kong. That's what I'm coming to watch. And suspend belief in everything else, you're going to walk away happy. Like I said, I liked it. I walked away entertained. Saw it in IMAX, you know, and to me, it was well worth the money spent. So that's what I've got to say about it. Let me know what you guys think. You know, if you're more of a film purist, you know, you might have some words with me and say, I don't know how you could sit through that drivel. You know, let me know. Write me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for the support. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.